Welcome, everyone, to our Monday morning Global Heart Resonance, a gift from us at Good of the Whole to those who are just joining us and those who are watching the replay. We're here, it's February 25th, and I'm here with Henry Lepler, who's part of the Heart Resonance Council, and who'll be offering our resonant theme for today, our resonant reflection. So let's just begin by really acknowledging the sweet spot of love in each of our individual hearts here this morning. We always love to start out with a heart resonance, and then I'll share some of the guidelines, and Henry will speak to our reflection. So just coming into this full range of consciousness, this intelligence of the field that we are one with, that we already are whole beings, having full access to this heart-based intelligence here. And just breathing that in as a moving field, as we watch the full moon and the tides come in and out, everything waxes and wanes, and we take an in-breath and out-breath, and it's just this beautiful, flowing, sustainable movement. This energy that we call love. And we come here really connecting into that subtle frequency, this home frequency. And so the invitation right now is just to fall into your natural breath and allow your body to open just like a lotus, to receive the information here, to open to this highest consciousness that's already in its full movement, in its expression for the good of the whole. And that we as empathic beings are just learning to practice to be in this resonant field. And we do that this morning with gratitude for ourselves, for our neighbors, for our local and online communities. Just as the water, our inner waters, are connected as one living stream of life in this oceanic flow of energy, where light and water meet is that spark of inspiration, and we're bringing that forward here this morning. So just taking another unified breath and coming fully present here this morning. So for those that are new, just really simply, we just have a few guidelines that really help this consciousness in being a regenerative experience for everybody. And simply speaking your name into the field when you feel that inspiration just to talk, speaking 1 to 2 minutes, so that we allow this building of coherence. And to acknowledging that we love, edifying our friends and people who are doing amazing work, and on this call sharing from that place. We speak to the whole. So the invitation here is to acknowledge the field that's speaking, less about the person, but the field that's speaking through them. And just taking a breath and allowing that to go in deeper, that thread of consciousness that's moving on this call. And here we embrace the pause and allow a pause in between people speaking, and really trust that silence that is always informing us and is allowing that depth of consciousness, that joy, that infusion of expression to come forth into the next person. So it's this wave-like experience. And with that, I'm going to pass the beautiful virtual, oops, he's right here, talking Buddha, to Henry.
Thank you, Shelley. Good morning. What is it that supports your practice? What supports my practice? What supports our collective practice? So this is about the collective practice, and from Terry Patten. And central to my approach is the active practice of exercising heart-based feeling intelligence to help individuals make moment-to-moment rediscovery of and connection to the mystery of existence. This builds the capacity to rest attention at the level of feeling, and also develops the capacity for intuitive receptivity. This receptivity progressively illuminates not only additional dimensions and dynamics of the conscious mystery of being, but the many subtle contractions, compensations, and identifications that tend to obstruct or attenuate full consciousness. A lot of big words, but what gets in the way of our full consciousness? It can also mature into an ongoing living participation with the principle of grace, through which the individual navigates life devotionally by gratefully always giving to the source of everything she or he receives. This is a self-regenerating process that builds the individual's connection to a reservoir of almost limitless inspiration and energy, or to an oasis is perhaps a word that we're also familiar with. So the inquiry for this morning, or other inquiries that may have come to you with this reading, is how does heart-based feeling intelligence connect you with the mystery of your being and with grace in this heart resonance circle of ours and beyond? So I place the talking Buddha into the center of our collective space and invite your inspired sharing.
Good morning, my name is Nahid. Something that has become part of my practice, it's been unfolding, especially when I'm facing challenging situations, specifically in relationships. I keep hearing, I love all your faces. I love all your faces. Something else that has been evolving is it's become like a mantra. It just is so present in the background. Is I am open to what is mine. I am open to receive what is mine. And something else that has been unfolding is there is this voice of acknowledgement, praising, adoration. It's like, really like, I would say, and I hear it sometimes in my own native language, Farsi, which is Persian language. It's like a mother that is adoring the little child. I hear that when I see a challenging situation and I see it as a feedback of the universe to me as my own creation, and I go through it, and then I hear, I love all your faces. Those words of just praising and loving, and it just is like being raised to a different level. I hear those words. So it's been a long practice, maybe 40 years. But that is how it's been unfolding. Thank you.
This is Cassandra. I'm patting the beautiful Buddha on its belly as I'm in this wonderful circle of enlightenment from each of you. We are contributing, taking from the wellspring that is within, anchored within us. Yes. I would like to say that I am in the practice of unpracticing. I've spent my entire life, and I'm now 69 years old, and exploring options, different ways to move through my energy field, and things that I'm sure we all have done. The other day, I realized that the resonance of love for me has taken on a different signature. And so I'm tracking signatures for myself as how I'm evolving. I love the effervescence. I heard one woman speak to that, the effervescence of water. And I immediately saw her as a waterfall. And she was glorious, and her colors were so brilliant. Then there was the floating on the deep, calm lake. And that was a place of respite, that signature of respite. I think that we can go on and consider all of these different aspects of water, which commonly is designated to emotion, and we can explore our own signature at any given time. I know that when I'm in turbulence, all I have to do is breathe, and the act of breathing stops because it cuts the turbulence in half. So there are all these things that are part of unpracticing, which is just, in other words, being in yourself and in your consciousness and in your divinity. And with that, I feel complete. Thank you.
This is Shelley, and what's moving for me right now is just simply, it's almost like I can't stop seeing these words, heart-based feeling intelligence. And these, it's like this, it's almost like a place of silence, where it's the invitation to come in deeper to the, I think what came out of my mouth was sweet spot of experience. And this sweet spot is that sense of belonging fulfilled. So heart-based field intelligence is the invitation to feel the arms of universal consciousness in its full embracement of us as a collective. And of course, as within that is the individual, myself, for each one of you. And it's so interesting to me that we live in a world where so many people are trying to figure this all out, even scientifically. We need to have that sense of figuring it all out. And what gets missed is this fully embodied experience of connection and love. And yeah, it's fun to figure it out. If it's your joy to figure it out and to understand the quantum field, but here, just being able to be immersed, be in that full immersion of the delight of being a human in relationship to spirit consciousness. And as we sometimes say in Good of the Whole, and bringing it all to life, being a part of that life energetic force is to be part of that unspeakable movement of the mystery. And I pass a full-bellied Buddha.
This is Henry. I think I mentioned these words maybe a couple of weeks ago. That seems appropriate here now as well. I heard a teacher say that who we are is what we love. What we love is who we are. So that gets into the deeper mystery of the heart of existence, and just opens us to the greater wellspring and richness when we open to this heart-based awareness, intelligence. I trained in the psychosynthesis by Roberto Essagioli, who has developed that. And one of the things that he expressed is always leave space for the mystery. So I love the connection of this reading for today, of connecting the heart with the mystery of our existence, and just opening to that, and feeling that kind of in the sea of our feeling intelligence. So that's what I would like to share, and I'm complete.
Good morning. This is Julie. I'll follow that thread because the phrase that really caught my attention in the reading was the conscious mystery of being. And just following that thread of this heart-based feeling intelligence being this heart-based field intelligence. And I had the honor to be a facilitator of an event this last weekend in the middle of a blizzard. And the organizer knew that we had so many from local and had saw the weather and really held that this field, if this was really wanting to be, it would create the space for this to happen. And she didn't cancel. And so I'm thinking, okay, I get a room. I'll be safe. I'll just stay over there. It's 20 miles away from my home. And it was a beautiful gathering. It was an incredible gathering. It was really beautiful. And I assumed that the locals would be there that are in the town that this is in. And we had someone came from New Hampshire, someone came from the South Dakota border, someone came from Lincoln and Omaha. So we had so many converge, and it was beautiful. And there were way more people there than I anticipated. But going back a few comments and really pulling these forward is this embodied experience and the need to know. So we had that, people, I want to understand. I want to know why this works. I want to know how this works. I want to get it. And I had the joy of opening the conference on Friday and closing it on Saturday, and a little group experience in the middle. And so from the opening, we started with an experience, and they're like, I feel whole. I get this wholeness. And then we went into the conscious, like going back to that phrase, the conscious mystery of being is exactly what we brought forward, was how do we be conscious and really experience and embody this mystery as the field itself. And so I could bring in some of the new science that's talking about how every particle in the universe is intimately in relationship with one another, and help to bring that consciousness and the mystery into the body. So we closed Saturday afternoon with a beautiful healing circle, much like heart resonance on Monday morning, much like how many of us have experienced, and so many that gathered had never had an experience like this ever. Heart resonance, heart-based intelligence, like coming into the body, feeling, experiencing, becoming the field. So it was really a beautiful negotiation of how do we be conscious and understand, and how do we literally allow that to come deeper in. And so to just honor this designing intelligence and this mystery that we're all trying to understand, as the organizer of the event put out there, I'm really asking this weather thing. We were literally getting 5 inches of snow and 50-mile-an-hour winds. It was going to be this horrible storm, and it was coming out of the Rockies, and it was heading east. And she just said, hey, could weather pattern, let's just dump a little extra in the mountains for the skiers because they love the snow. And let's go into Wyoming and dump a little extra there because they got snowmobiles and they love it. And maybe you could gently move it around us. And quite literally, it's exactly what happened. So there's this big snow event west of us. It moves around us and literally shut down the interstate for more than 24 hours with some very severe weather and accidents and storm. And I think everyone's okay, because that was her wish, that everybody be safe. But it literally opened this space for us to really sit in that conscious mystery of being together and not worry about a weather event outside. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So with that, I just really want to presence that one phrase from our reading today is this conscious mystery of being, that it gets to be both. It gets to be the conscious experience of the mystery of being. So with that, I don't have a Buddha belly. I just realized I have to go shopping because I have Buddha heads. I have a lot of beautiful Buddha, and my grandpa used to have a Buddha that was this big with a big belly, and I want a Benny. My grandpa was Grandpa Benny Buddha belly. So I'm going to go shopping. Thanks for the Buddha. And I'm complete.
This is Dinama, and the thread of being an energy signature, each of us having our own energy signature as a defining matrix, however, and this sense of unifying with the whole field as myself and ourselves. That's the conscious shift. That's the wholeness experienced in our protons and cellular consciousness and our reading of the field. And it's not words. We know it. Each of us know this place of authentic, true frequency match and identifying in that way our wholeness and oneness. The field is really calling us there all the time. And that's the joy of sharing it with you consciously here. I'm complete.
This is Anita. I was at a yoga class yesterday at a very lovely yoga teacher, and she is into how we should be more soft and not be so fixed in our yoga positions as we have been taught so far. And her intention for the year was love. And she said that love is eternal. And so we were doing all these beautiful movements of sort of a sensation of the heart between the lungs, and when we were moving forward and backward and to the sides and extending it into the arms and being in flow motion, as I like to say. But we know this, but it's really interesting that it's being said out loud more and more. The eternity of the love and how we're connected here, and we're beginning to remember it here and connect here in a more conscious way with the energy of Maria Magdalene. I'm complete.
Okay, this is Shelley again, and before I share what's coming through, I just want to make note that if people came on late and missed the beginning, that feel free as you're feeling that impulse to come on by unmuting yourself, because it's a default mute when you come in. with that said, I heard that little slip, and it's not even pulling on a thread. It's a heavenly thread. And just hearing that little, I don't even know what you would call it, about Mary Magdalene, just at the very end. For me, it's this experience here is really the full expose of the Magdalene message of the way of love. And as we're becoming more conscious of the mystery that moves in each and every one of us as one living fabric, one living movement, you could even almost say magic carpet. When we think of, sorry, I've been watching a lot of films lately, and last night a lot of animated films. There was short animated films. So that animation of this sitting in respite, sitting not so rigid in meditation, but to allow this inner flow, this inner practice, this inner movement of awareness to consciously connect within our own being these synapses of love and synchronicity and light, where we can feel its we, like Henry, like it was being said, like we are the love, and the love is us. We get to come to this 3D earth and learn to express this experience. So for me, I've been doing a lot of writing about this way of love, and and a lot about signatures, and coming from a dowsing perspective, how every tor and every stone being and every tree, they have a signature that is measurable, a heart resonance that is measurable. And so it's so beautiful today to weave that into this expression, to become aware of our individual signature, that primordial signature that we alone have come in to express in relationship to this unified whole, this mystery of whole, this new worldview of whole, because I'm really watching how having that be the come from each and every day I wake up, and how that intermingles and expresses itself to those who are in my field, who are really needing this broader understanding, this ability of presence, to not have to push it away. And we do that through pushing away feelings. It's so interesting to me. And to be open to this signature, this interior hold-on that is wishing to express itself through us and as us. And allowing even the most empathic sensitivities to be allowed to be present. So with that, I pass that Buddha forward. Thank you. I'm complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is June from California. I seem to have gotten a head cold today, so talking is difficult, but what's come up for me is this little wonderful Buddha that sits at the foot of my staircase going upstairs. And every day, this is what greets me. The first thing I see as I come out of my bedroom. And it just says it all to me. It's got this, the beauty, the holiness of our being, and the laughter. I mean, it's like life is this wonderful sense of openness and delight, and yet held in the mystery of this deep intelligence that we hold inside of us. So I can't talk much more, but I just wanted to bring this wonderful Buddha forward to say how much I love all of you. And I pass the talking stick on.
This is Cassandra. I'd like to elaborate just a little on the theme that seems to be rising from the heart of the message. I'm always amazed when I come into the presence of someone who is a renowned holy person. I'm thinking specifically of the Dalai Lama, because he is so childlike. He has given away that which could not allow him to enter into the secret chambers of our living heart and soul. And yet he carries such responsibility. So I look at that and I think, oh, there's that challenge for those who have come in to assist all of us. And then I remember that childlike joy, constantly smiling, is such a wonderful example of what we're speaking to today. And so I just wanted to bring in that Dalai Lama blessing of childlikeness, for lack of a better word. Thank you. I'm complete.
Something is coming forward, and I'm present too. It feels this is like a pilgrimage. One day people would have gone, I don't know, to a temple. I come from Muslim background. I don't claim that I am that. They go to Mecca, they go here and there to church. But this has become, this Monday course has become that for me. It just, I love all your faces. Just, I don't know, when you go to church, to temple, to synagogue, to mosque, what is the intention of that? And this is it for me. This is it. Thank you.
This is Sharon in New Jersey, and I'll have my voice and my Buddha. I had to go get him because he's a little laughing Buddha. He sits on one of my little altars. So he wanted to say hi. And following the thread of what was just spoken, I think that I went to Unitarian Universalist Church yesterday, and I go there to be uplifted in community. And yesterday was actually the first time that kind of didn't happen a little bit, because the person who was leading the service got a little bit too lost, I think, in the intensity or something, and it was like a little heavier. Usually it's very light, and it was heavier. And my husband and I came out, and we looked at each other, this group is not that way. It is light. And so when you said pilgrimage or coming here, it is a coming to that heart intelligence, to be uplifted, to be opened, to give and receive. And it's just, very beautiful, pure, powerful, lovely energy. I'm complete. Pass my Buddha back.
This is Julie. I'll just drop this in as the conscious mystery of being. I'm like laughing in joy because the Buddhas, June's is almost an exact replica of my grandpa from 50 years ago in the middle of conservative Nebraska, where there's never been a Buddhist temple except for in Omaha in the last couple decades. So it's like, where did that come from? And it just feels like that conscious mystery of being is significant for some reason, because everybody loved that beloved Buddha. Maybe they didn't even know what they loved, but the statue was this center point at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and everybody rubbed the Buddha belly. But how did it get to the middle of Nebraska in 50 years ago, 60 years ago? I have no idea how long, maybe even much longer than that. Anyways, I just wanted to drop that little piece of joy back in. Thanks for sharing your Buddhas.
Okay. Hi, good morning. It's Deborah. So I'm here in the desert in Arizona, and this week it snowed. And it wasn't just a little bit of snow up on the mountains of the Catalinas where it sometimes snows, but it snowed in the entire valley and on all 4 mountains. And this blessing of water basically stopped everyone in their tracks. And just that energetic signature was like a 0-point reset. And I spent yesterday going to all the different main waterways that come into Tucson, and going and blessing the waters in the Tonke Verde Wash and Mount Lemon and the Agua Caliente and the it was just really amazing, because dream has water flows on the surface here in Tucson, because I love it, but I always leave because there's no water on the surface. And one of the most amazing things was that Mount Lemon Road was closed because there was so much snow on the top that it's not passable. And so I was able to walk up that empty road and find myself a spot and listen to the waters flow. And I guess I feel like such appreciation and gratitude for all of you and all of your contributions here today, and this energetic field. And it's so much like sitting there listening to that water flowing in a place that it often doesn't flow. And I thank you.
This is Sharon Raji Maynard, and I just want to express my appreciation for being with you and the opportunity to just be in that field, letting that consciousness seep into my being without having to do anything other than that. And I really appreciate that this morning. So thank you all.
Good morning, all. This is Kate in South Dakota, and I can only say I'm just appreciating your words flowing. And I'm feeling them all deeply. I'm looking a wreck. I'm still in my pajamas, and it's very cold, so that's why you saw my intent picture. I'll return that. I don't have a Buddha. I'm just kind of, I don't have a Buddha. Now I want a Buddha.
This is Michelle, and I'm just going to say good morning to everybody and that I'm grateful to be here as well. I don't have a Buddha either, and I was going to show my very own Buddha belly, but I thought I'd resist the temptation. So thanks for today.
I love how I don't have to say, okay, now this is the time where those who haven't spoken can spoken, but that's, everyone's just popping in like that. How beautiful. Before, we'll just hold it open. We still have someone who hasn't shared. So if you feel like sharing, and oh, actually more than one person. So this is the time for that. The rest of us will take a breath and pause in this abundance of the heart that's happening here this morning. And we'll just be in silence while we open to receive those that haven't shared. Thank you.
Good morning, all. This is Deb Watson. I've been just listening and enjoying everybody this morning, and it reminds me that this topic is one of the stumbling blocks for me. It's very hard for me to stay in the flow of the fabric at times. Get a little bit too much in my head, but listening today, it's brought me down into the heart and had me more in the flow. So I just want to say thank you for that and tell everyone how much I appreciate you all. And with that, I feel complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is Karen in Costa Rica. Sorry, I missed a little bit. I had a power outage. I have to go to the replay because this was a wonderful call. I was just basking in it and enjoying the feel of the field, and it put me in a very good place that I needed to be to deal with something today. And I'm very appreciative to all of you and love you all. Thank you.
So with that, let's just feel this tapestry of love and just have a moment of silence where we can really embrace the field in gratitude, speak directly to the field from our hearts. The waters so exquisitely shared. This is a beautiful place to be embraced. And I'm seeing one other person who I'm so apologetic who hasn't shared. Oriana, would you like to come into the field here with us? I apologize. You're on mute.
Okay, it's Oriana. Thanks, Shelley. I'm also from Tucson in the snow, so it's just melted here. But this morning I was listening to Frank Wilczek, who is a Nobel laureate, a particle physicist who had predicted time crystals. And one of the things he was saying, this talk was on the materiality of the vacuum, meaning there is no such thing as empty space. It's full of structure and information. And he used the analogy of fish swimming in water. And so when we really recognize that, oh, this field is what we're swimming in, oh, it's not something separate from us, it's just what and how we're putting our attention and awareness on it that allows us to swim in the same direction, school up together, and even jump to see what else is possible. So I appreciate the heart-based feelings. And as much as I like to delve into the physics, is really, as Nassim Haramein, physicist, also likes to say, is metaphysics is just the physics we haven't quite figured out yet. But it's all universal law. And the field that we're swimming in is the heart. And there is no separation. And the idea that we have a heart is what keeps us separate from being our heart. And with that, I'm complete.
Perfect way to end this call, to complete the cycle of this call. So with that, just invite everyone to come join us in Good of the Whole, the community Facebook page, and share your experiences of this so people can begin to, I'm just going to use the word grok, what this experience is. You know, it's a beautiful way to engage. And join us for our Wednesday call if you feel like you want to get more into the strategy of helping to ripple this out. And we can all unmute, and we'll just lovingly and passionately send this ripple out through our unified choir of yum. Yum, 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 yum.